Captain on the bridge.
Alright, captains, we are back on the bridge, and today we finally got the tweet that I have been waiting for to get confirmation. So, on screen. Yes, so we are on the Star Trek Online official Twitter feeds. So, console captains. So, my console caps. Enter the Heart of the Storm event very soon and unlock powerful new ground armor based on Mir Kumarke. Now, we have covered this before. I already have the set on the PC bridge, and I'm actually more excited for this on my console captain because it's my free to play. And this is just another thing that I can use to kind of show newer players what one can get just for kind of playing the game, just for logging in. But so what we're gonna do, go over the blog, drop my 2 ECs, then give my conclusions. But also there'll be something also cover that was on the tweeters. But here we go. Enter the Heart of the Storm. Now this also confirms the date, and for some reason I had June 16th in my mind for the content drop on console, and maybe that was because I wanted to get a log of the existing Federation tutorial on console to keep in our archives here on the YouTube bridge. But maybe I was told, I heard from somewhere, but here is the confirmation, captains. But here we go. Into the Heart of the Storm, as part of our upcoming content release from June 22nd to July 22nd, so a whole month, on Xbox and PlayStation, a special event looms, Heart of the Storm. This new event will give an opportunity to drive back the Terrans and claim an epic reward, the Kumarke Visionary Ground Set. Read on and find out more about the event and its rewards. So, event progress. Participating in this event grants daily progress towards the grand prize, the 4-piece Kumarke Visionary Ground Set. Now, I've seen this set in action, and holy cow, captains, get ready for some visual spam. You thought we had visual spam now. This is very pink. Obtaining the Kumarke Visionary Ground Set requires 20 daily progress. The captains can earn daily progress once per account per day by playing either the new episode or task force operation released this season, or any of the other episodes or task force operations in the event. In total, 4 available missions and 4 available TFOs reward daily progress. They are as follows. So for episodes, featured episodes, you got Firewall, Red Shift, Blue Shift, The Calling. So these are the 2 new ones that we've already gone through on the PC, but they're coming to console finally. For the TFOs, Operation Wolf, Upiter Raidus, holy jeez, I don't know how many times I have to run that one. Forged in Fire, that's the new one, captains. That is indeed the new one. And Counterpoint. I don't know how many times I've run Upiter Raidus for both PC and the console, but really, to be honest with you, captains, it doesn't matter to me. Because it's something more of a distraction than anything. I don't mind doing things over and over again. Hence why I keep playing Star Trek Online, because I love it. And it's still for the pretty pew-pews. Come on, let's go. Let's go! Okay. Once captains have obtained 20 daily progress on their account, they can claim the Kumarke Visionary Ground Set. After that, the event will still be playable, granting a scaling dilithium reward that begins at 8,000 Dil ore and scales by 1k Dil ore for every day you participate in the event, up to a cap of 50k Dil ore per day. Captains, you know that one of my recommendations always is to keep doing the event afterwards. You don't have to, but for me personally, I do it, and I make sure I still do it too as well on the console bridge, on the PS4 bridge, because now that I have a Gem Hadar that can help me out, we're going to be able to gather more resources. This will actually give me more incentive to actually try to level up my KDF recruit so that I have 3. And we're going to have a 4th one soon. Soon. TM, soon. But we'll get into that later. Captains will also have the option to purchase their remaining progress in the event with Zen. The price for this buyout will be prorated based on the amount of progress a captain has completed. So captains, it's there for you if you need it. I personally don't do that. I just go through the event because, again, I just have fun doing it. I may be going for punishment, but that's how it is. But there it is, captains. We've covered this before already on the PC bridge, but Again, I've seen people use this. They absolutely love it, and it's an interesting looking thing. Not gonna lie, and I think it's only those like attachments that you see with the gloves and all that stuff. But the neatness that, like I said, it gives like a really huge pink vibes when you see this go off. But so here we go. The Komarke Visionary Ground set. Little is known about the Komarke of the Mirror Universe. Her technology is at once impressive and distressing. Soft spoken and megalomaniacal. Let's try it again. Megalomaniacal? I think I said it. Megalomaniacal. The lightning, I get English, I promise. The lightning weapon is capable of significant electrical damage, and it restores the user's shields and deals bonus damage when used on low health foes. Even more potential is stored in its tertiary attack, a shockwave which converts a user's shield into electric damage for a dramatic bonus to kit performance for the user's next kit module, or Symphony of Lightning, see below. Again, that's pretty cool, actually. I do like that visual. The armor contains an array of backup capacitors able to restore full power to the personal shield generator at a moment's notice. The PSG itself, when its shields fall in combat, automatically deploys a drone to provide an invulnerability field around the user for a brief period of time. I can read, I swear. Lastly, the set contains a kit module which deploys the same drone in a more aggressive role, dealing electrical damage over time to nearby foes, with bonus damage for enemies with high remaining health. That is a lot just to say, here's your free pretty stuff. The machinations only become more dire when combined. Two pieces, electromagnetic force, majeur, improves kit performance, improves maximum health based on percentage of maximum shield capacity. When shields are full in combat, drains 25% of current shield capacity to provide a large boost to kit performance for the next kit module or Symphony of Lightning used. 3-piece active Symphony of Lightning marks up to 8 foes in a cone in front of the user, then strikes a random mark foe with lightning several times. This is hilarious. This thing, you combine this also with the Sompek Lightning Kit module, it's like lightning force powers for days. Plus an additional number of times based on kit performance. Foes struck repeatedly take slightly reduced damage per additional bolt, but it looks pretty. That's the important thing. Maybe a little too pretty visually, but it's there. 4 pieces, power overwhelming. Further improves kit performance, improves electromagnetic force, measures bonus to health, improves electromagnetic force, measures bonus to kit performance when draining shields, improves shield recovery by using the weapon on low health targets. This item also unlocks unique Mirror costume pieces for you to use with your character as seen above. This is a special event for our next content drop, and this is not a part of the event campaign. We hope you enjoy the special events. Captains, we'll see you in game. So, I think, again, Captains, I believe this is the date now of Stormfall coming to the console bridge is June 22nd. I know I kept saying June 16th, which I thought was going to be. It still might be. I don't know. Captains, we'll cover these blogs as best as we can. We do them late in the day so that we can get all the news possible. And just because we're here, we're just going to do a refresh quickly just to make sure. But again, like I said, I'm excited for this because more for my console captain because, yeah, they're pretty much bare bones, free to play. And for some reason, it feels like this year they're getting a lot of things. And I know sometimes I take it for granted on the PC bridge, but that's because I've been playing that account since 2014. So I have almost everything I already want, and these are just extra bonuses. It feels more impactful on a free to play account, especially on the console. So super excited. Nothing new there. Now so yes, again, final thoughts on this. The final 2 ECs. Going to do this. Quite happy to do this. We're going to do the playthroughs, of course, for the PS4 stuff. Now, we did this already on the PC. I don't think I'll do any more videos on it, but what we will do is do the new sorry, the old Federation turtle, or the current one as of this recording, the current one that has not yet been replaced by the new one that will come with Stormfall. So we want to keep a log of that so that we can sort of just look back in nostalgia and say, hey, this was the one before the new one. Which, again, I love the new one. Captains, if you haven't played it, for my console caps, you're gonna enjoy it. I hope. Well, I did. But so there's that. End of the Heart of Storm, June 22nd is gonna start. We have a whole month for that. Again, it's not part of the event campaign, but it's still there for you for a new pretty pew pew set on ground. Also, a chance to get more dilithium and marks, which will help me greatly with my new tunes. Now, and of course, the new tune that we'll be making for Stormfall because of the Federation tutorial. Now, having said that, we're gonna go shift into another tweet that was from one of our devs. Here we go. I'm just gonna throw it on two ECs because I've mentioned this before here and there, and I want to go over this. So, our very own Thomas Marrone. How mad would everyone be if I unilaterally reduce the scale of the TOS dreadnoughts to something more era appropriate, still bigger than the Connie? Was here A is the current size, B is the hypothetical change. The Romulan and Klingon dreadnoughts would all be similarly adjusted, so TOS era stuff still feels within an appropriate range. Hypothetically, another one here. Their massive size was a decision made by our art lead at the time that I vehemently disagreed with. So that's interesting. It is. So, and the reason why I wanted to cover this is I'm going to go. This didn't really deserve its not to say deserve. I didn't want to dedicate a video to this because I've actually mentioned it here and there, but I want to take this opportunity to drop the two ECs on this, and these are the ECs. So I have mentioned a lot of times over the past years that I wish we had the sort of opportunity, a way to kit bash our ships. Okay? Because kit bashing is, well, it's Star Trek. You take pieces of bits of ships here and there and put them together. And I know each ship already has its own set of skins. Some don't, right? Especially if they're just that only ship. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is what I want to happen, or what I would love to happen, is to be able to kit bash all the ships we own. So anything that we bought from the C store, anything we've bought for promo, or whatever, to kit bash everything that we own. One of the issues and problems would be is the scaling of the parts. Enter the two ECs right here. If they can scale this easily enough, it doesn't sound like it's going to be a hard thing because really they're just scaling this thing. I could be wrong. I'm not a graphic designer. I'm not trying to downplay the work that they're doing here. Not at all. Captains, you know, I have huge respect for our devs. And there's a thing that I just thought of that we'll actually discuss that I'll throw out there because I also discussed this last night on the Twitch bridge. It would be nice if we would be able to kit bash all the ships we own, and the only thing that would be an additional feature that they'd have to do for us is to be able to scale the parts. Okay, so for example, even though, okay, let's say we just wanted to, we know that the Atlas here, the prototype Dreadnought, has like these quad nacelles. And we wanted to, let's say, just for example, put them on the Connie here. Of course, look how big that would be. But if you gave us an option just to put it on here and then scale it down with a slider to a certain degree or max degree, I don't know, within certain limits, I think that would be pretty good. And yes, I would actually pay Zen for that. I would give up resources to have the ability to do that. How would that look like? I'm not sure. An account, a one-time cost of, just throwing this out there, 1,000 Zen. Just to be able to kit bash all the ships that we own. I think that would be great. I really do. But I didn't even realize how big the prototype dreadnought was, to be honest with you. I have used it, and of course, captains, you know, in our build videos, this is the ship that, one, you can get from your event campaign. Two, this is where the DPRM comes from. The oh crap button with all its clicky goodness that I use in most of my builds comes from. I think it would be such a great thing to do if we'd be able to use different parts on ships, on other ships. And again, I bring out exhibit number 2, the Malachowski, the Mirandakowski. I'm not going to bring it up. I'm just going to talk about it. The Mirandakowski has a lot of everything that has come under the Miranda and the Malachowski. And look at the Kitbash ability on that. I think it would be great. One of the things that I would do is try to create a lot more TNG style ships. Captains, you know, said in videos before, I love TNG. That's where I got into Star Trek. And that would just be sort of a way to also keep me engaged in game, but not myself. I know people who use hours in the ship Taylor just on the current ships, but could you imagine, captains, if we had that capability? That would be awesome. Now, having said that, this is the other point that I want to bring up. I understand our devs are in sort of a very limited capacity when it comes to working on certain things. And when I first read this, when I first got wind of this, I was like, there's better things that they can focus on, in my opinion. One of them is the current loadout bug. Okay? That seems to affect everyone still on PC. I haven't really had it yet on console, but I thought they had fixed it. Now, I do fully understand that probably Thomas and his team has nothing to do with loadout bugs. But it just feels like I would rather put all the effort into fixing that first before we start mucking around with anything else, especially visually. Now, having said that, of course, this is Thomas's job, right? This is their job to make things look pretty, and in some cases, and in this case, to make things make sense. So I just wish that they would spend a lot of time on that. Now, captains, I'm going to share this with you. We recently had an issue with our legendary Vesta Ox cannons. And I will sort of show this here so that you can see. What had happened was that I had epicked out and re-engineered all my Ox cannons, 4 of them. I don't have it here, but I'll just explain what happened. And everything was successful. Got to re-engineer to damage times 4 for DM. And then when I equipped them and then did the video portion, it's actually, I say it there in the video for the Vesta, the legendary Vesta, I'm like, it changed. And I thought, and I mentioned, I thought it was more of a visual change or text change or just a mistake. But no, it actually did change. So what I had done, and I'm not going to try to drag this on, was contact support. I submitted a ticket, contacted them, and a lot of back and forth. I gave them proof, and funny enough, this happened on stream, so I was able to give them video clips of it happening. Also telling them how much I use in terms of salvage, dilithium, and so on and so forth. It has been about, since the release of that video, about a couple weeks now. And I just thought I would bring this up because this is kind of tying to what I'm saying about how, you know, sometimes we give the devs a hard time, is the fact that in compensate, and it's still not resolved. As of this video, it's still not resolved. But as of yesterday, send me an email saying, for your patience, to let you know, I'm just read it off screen here because it is here. So, hello, thank you for your patience. I just want to remind you that we're still waiting for the feedback of the development team regarding this issue. Again, talking about the development team, right? Because it sounds like this is part of that issue where it's a whole re-engineering. I've never heard this happen to anyone else, at least within the captains that I know. And then they say this: we also have given you 1,000 Zen as a compensation for your patience. This ticket will remain in open status until further updates. So I bring that out there is, captains, I try to keep things positive. There are things that I do complain about, but I just kind of work around them. Again, does it suck that I lost however much to lithium and salvage? Yes, it didn't feel good. Trust me, it didn't feel good. And I didn't know if I was going to get response back. But I wanted to bring this up because as much as I'm harping on this loadout thing here, I wanted to also share that they are there are instances that they've gone above and beyond, and this is one of them for me personally, and I appreciate that. And will this sort of keep me always positive on their side? I'll be critical where I have to be. I will call things out where I have to. But this also goes to another incident that happened years ago with the 10th anniversary bundle. Long story short, that 10th anniversary bundle comes with ship slots that I put in my account inventory. So first it went into my character inventory, then I moved it to my account inventory to move things around because my inventory is so clean. To those captains who got that. I put it on another tune just to sort of move around. When that happened, it applied it to that character. I'm like, nani? I then submitted a ticket right away. I said, listen, I didn't want this to auto apply, nor did it say, and I gave him pictures, I gave him text stuff of their main blog, nor did it say that this would auto apply. That's the whole key, that the auto apply. There's nothing on that blog for the 10th anniversary when I bought it back then. And again, not to go into it, there was communication back and forth just like this. And to compensate me for it, they gave me 10 free slots to apply to any tune I wanted to, or the sort of amount of Zen to buy the slots on the tune that I wanted to. So I know captains that, and this goes, the reason why I bring this up too as well is in the comments below, or in the comment section of any of the videos, there is always one or two negative comments about Star Trek Online. I understand. I also get frustrated, but it doesn't affect my nightly way that I play. That's the key word, the nightly way I play. Yes, I re-engineered those Ox cannons, and they're gonna perform better, of course, with the damage 4, blah blah blah. But they just went back to the whatever mods, Act DM, Crit X2, whatever. We were still able to get through that elite patrol pretty easy. And that's the thing. This game is pretty easy, but it can also be frustrated. But I get that frustration because of the love that you, any of the captains have for Star Trek Online. So again, I bring this up just to say that I understand it's frustrating, but to know that when I come across things, I'll call it out, but I won't dwell on it. I'll move on because I Star Trek Online is a safe space for my head, for Captain Triz's head. This is where I go to wind down during the day so that I can just relax. I can be with my fellow captains. I can just pew pew, sometimes not think about it. So, anyways, captains, I made this long enough. I wanted to share that because of this, it kind of, in my head, it all tied together, and I wanted to cover this. And maybe this, maybe this should have been in a separate video. But regardless, it was just a chance to talk to any of the captains, whether it be PC or the console, just to know that the reason why I am the way that I am, I try to be positive because I want to be positive. When I come here, I want it to be my safe space. And that's kind of what I want for any of the captains that either come here to the YouTube bridge and or join us on our live streams on both platforms, whether it be Twitch and or YouTube. So glad to throw that out there, captains. There you go. So just to recap, Inner Heart of the Storm is coming for the console June 22nd, there's this issue here that I talked about, which I think I'm throwing it out there. Cryptic, if you're listening, if you ever watch this video, give us the ability to kitbash our ships. Please, I would pay Zen for it. Any of the ships that we own with each other, that'd be great. And of course, those last two ECs that I dropped about the dev team, let's give them time. I believe that they're doing their best with what they got, with the time that they have allotted to them, with the resources they got, and know that I will always do my very best to stay positive myself. I will call things out, but I'll always be patient regardless. And sometimes good things come out of that. Hence the help that I've received over the years. And this is not to poo-poo on anyone that has not gotten any response from them. All I can say is just keep trying. Go in it with a positive attitude, and I think that's kind of how I always operate. In both of these scenarios where I actually had to contact tech support, I've gotten something good out of it. So there you go, captains. We're gonna leave it there. Captain Triz is gonna stop ranting. We'll leave it on this note.
Live long and prosper.